How's it going, everyone? It's Purple Haze here with another segment on the Switch 2. And in particular, I'm going to be talking about the direction I think Nintendo's going and why this Switch is actually a pretty big evolution in Nintendo's history. So, to understand this, we have to understand that prior to this generation, Nintendo really focused on the gamer and the gamer's immediate network of peers. So if we think about it, the first consoles, you had the gamer, and then you also had potentially the gamer's friend playing right next to the gamer. We then doubled that number of people who could play next to the gamer in the N64 era to four. Obviously, the handheld situation, they started connecting handhelds and they could play together, and then even with the Switch, it was really about that immediate gamer and allowing them to take their device anywhere and making it portable. Well, if we think about this time, we now have the C button. And I know that's a pretty controversial topic for some, but stay with me and I'll probably also explain why I don't think it's such a controversial thing. And that is now Nintendo is, instead of saying, "Hey, gamer, you're now gonna game with your immediate network," it's now using social to say, "Hey, gamer, now we're going to increase your network of people to potentially play with, and also potentially creating a community of like-minded gamers coming together." And so to understand this, like, imagine, I know, go back to when you were young, or even imagine it today. You're in your local retro gaming store. In the front, there's all these used or a couple of games. There's maybe some posters. If you go a little bit further back from that, you may see like a card table, some people playing Magic, or maybe you have some Pokemon players. But now think about a little bit further back from that. What do you see? Yeah, potentially now you're seeing gamers, Nintendo gamers coming together to trade their games, right? They're now saying, like, hey, I'll lend you out this game. And you don't even have to worry about the person coming back because the game automatically comes back to you after 2 weeks. I think that's pretty cool. I think we all have that story when we lent out a game and we never saw that game back, or we all of a sudden had a game that we have no idea where it came from. I know I do. So I'm starting to see Nintendo really leaning into this social community aspect, really building off of, not that they did this on purpose, but really building off of like what Pokemon Go became roughly 8 to 10 years ago, where you just had these community of people coming together, uh, really behind their love of Pokemon. And so when I think about that, and then think about the idea that you can also have game sharing where it's only one player and potential that one player who needs to have the game and then they can loan it out to three other players. Well, yeah, of course, the game needs to opt into that program, but now you're starting to see the ability to have like tournaments in a way that you just maybe couldn't have had before. And I think that's really cool to see. Now, obviously, all that was possible before, but now you're starting to see that they're leaning, in my opinion, much more into like breaking away from your immediate network and creating just like this larger gaming community that just wasn't possible before. And I think Nintendo's really leaning into probably what the other consoles could have done, but maybe didn't focus. And then I talked about the pricing there. And some people are like, "Purple, the whole C button is a money grab." And I do want to push back on this because if I think about the other console manufacturers, yes, they allow you to do party chat for free. But if I wanted to do online gameplay, playing with people who are not around you, that costs at least $10 a month. And if you ask me, I would rather pay $20 a year for online gameplay and have the online gaming chat feature part of that $20 than getting the online party chat for free, but having to pay $10 a month for online gameplay. To me, it just seems like, yes, sucks that you have to pay for it, but at the end of the day, still $20 is not that bad of a deal, especially considering, at least for the first 9 months of Switch 2, the online gameplay feature and the chat feature is going to be, or at least the chat feature is going to be free for anybody with the Switch 2. So those are my thoughts. Like I said, I think Nintendo, this biggest evolution here is really around the social aspect of Nintendo. Obviously, there's some updated hardware. Obviously, there's a couple other things, but to me, it's really about the social and just building a gaming community. And for a world where social media is really being used to divide people, to see a way to use social to bring people together, I think it's a welcomed introduction and something I'm really looking forward to. But let me know what you think. Do you think this is a different direction, Nintendo? Do you think they're just playing catch up? Do you think that there's potentially a lot potential here? Or maybe you're like Purple, I'm still not getting it. Please let me know down below. I would love to know your thoughts. And with that, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the playing. All right, take care, y'all. Bye.